Hi guys, and welcome to the Sunderland vs Birmingham match review. And Sunderland have just come away with a 3-1 win at the Stadium of Light against Wayne Rooney's Birmingham City. Now, going into this game, there was a lot of anxiety from the Sunderland fans' perspective, mine in particular anyway, because before the game did begin, we knew that Ballard was out with it's a suspension, same with O'Nien. So our centre-back partnership for the season so far has completely gone, and the only options we did have was we had Triantis and we had Sealt as well. Both players have less than, I think it was like 18 minutes worth of football this season, and when they have played, it hasn't even been in their natural position at centre-back when they have come on the pitch. So originally, it was only supposed to be Sealt starting the game with a back four of Sirkin at left back, who would have been returning from injury, Huggins at right back, and it was going to be Trey Hume and Sealt as the centre back partnership, even though Hume is naturally a right back as well. So it would have been a really makeshift back line as it is. And then 20 minutes before kickoff, Sirkin pulls up with a hamstring injury. He did have a hamstring injury anyway, and apparently he was feeling a niggle, so decided he wasn't fit to feature, and so he was replaced, and then Triantis had to fill in. So two very, very young lads with next to zero experience in terms of championship football had to come in and do his job for us. And then we had Ekwa and Neil in the middle. Daniel captaining the side, which was amazing to see. Absolutely buzzing for the lad. Job, of course, facing his former club. We'll get into that in just a little while. Roberts on one side, Clark on the other, and then Royson up top. Oh, Royson. I changed the way I pronounce that every single time. But either way, we get into the game. In the opening 5 minutes or so, Birmingham were really showing that high press that they'd shown against Ipswich, and they were making it difficult, although we were comfortable at the back playing it around, albeit there was a few sort of nail-biting moments with the way that we were just casually playing it along the back, but we were finding it quite difficult to get out our own third. But as soon as we did beat that press, we looked absolutely fantastic. Roberts was absolutely getting at them all half in that first half on that right-hand side. Clark wasn't so much involved in the first half anyway, and then we started to create chances. There was one where Roberts does do really well, pulls it back. I think it was Clark, who pulls it back to Huggins. Penalty spot. It just doesn't get a good connection. The ball only scuffed it, and it is cleared off the line, but it didn't look like it was going to go in anyway. It was going at a snail's pace, a shot. Roberts himself had a couple of decent chances. Royson, who I think was phenomenal today, by the way, the best that we've seen him. His press was just relentless, and then when he does get the ball, he just shoots when he gets the opportunity. There's no faffing around with it, no pissing around on the ball. He shoots when he can. He struck the post as well with a really good effort. He cut in from right to left, and he's beat Ruddy hands down, and he's hit the post. But eventually we did break the deadlock, and of course it is Joe Bellingham, the man who, I know not all Birmingham fans, I know on social media I did have a bit of a pop on X or Twitter, if you want to call it that, but there were so many Birmingham fans that we did see online when we first signed Joe, and we're really excited about the signing of Joe Bellingham. And there were so many Birmingham fans saying, like, oh, he's not special as shit. He's living off the family name type thing. Again, not all Birmingham fans, but there were so many with that attitude. So I was just so happy for the lad, for him to get on the score sheet, put us in front against his former club. The ball was put in the box, put across goal, and he had to really sort of react quickly, get into the right shape, and then put it past Ruddy in goal into the roof of the net to make it 1-0. But we've seen this twice in the game. As soon as we score a goal, we seem to take our foot off the pedal. And Ekwa, again, there's plenty of positives in this game, but if you follow me on social media, you'll realise and you'll know how much I was getting on Ekwa's back throughout the game, because that was his worst performance in the Sunderland shirt. Hands down. We had a lot of things going against us going into this game with the two young lads at centre-back who we'd never really seen properly. But Ekwa, that was the worst performance I'd seen him in a Sunderland shirt, straight from the kick-off. He is so overly sort of casual on the ball. Even if he has 2 or 3 Birmingham men around him, he's so casual. He avoids the easy pass at all times, the obvious pass, or he'll refuse to release the ball. It's like he's only interested in a more difficult pass. And then if a a more difficult pass isn't on, and then an easy one is, he will just stay with the ball and then lose it. And that happened time and time and time again. And then on the very rare occasion that he did decide to release the ball, the pass was horrible. And it was going way out of play, nowhere near anyone, or straight at a Birmingham player. I would be very interested to have a look at his statistics, because, I don't want to dig that out, but, when someone plays well, I'll say they'll play well. And if they play bad, regardless of whether we win, lose or draw, I will say it. It was god-awful, and I think he was largely at fault, for about 50-60% at fault for the first goal. It was simple. We're playing out for the back. He had loads of time on the ball. He pisses around with it, loses it, and then, of course, at the time, Triantis and Sealt, they're scrambling a little bit, and they managed to eventually put it in the back of the net, and it was pretty simple. Then we go in at half-time, 1-1, second half, and I do think that we actually grew into it in terms of our defensive shape. Don't get me wrong, at times, whenever we did lose it in midfield, i.e. whenever Equa lost it in midfield, there was a little bit of panic, as you'd expect, but I feel like Sealt and Triantis did grow into the game in that second half. But as soon as the likes of Equa was losing it in the middle, there was just so much space for them to run into. And another day, and a better side, we would have been punished, because there was a good 4, maybe 5 chances from outside the box where they were given so much space, Birmingham, and they were hitting it wide or straight at Pato, and Pato did have to come into action a few times with some fantastic saves. Largely they were relatively basic, but there was one fantastic save where I think it might have been Bacuna who struck it from distance. It took a deflection, but he still managed to tip it around the post. But we did manage to get ourselves back in front, and it has been awarded as a Dion Sanderson, of course, former Sunderland man. Dion Sanderson, own goal, but it was originally awarded to Triantis. Ball was put in, and he's just there to bundle it over the line, but it looks like it has kind of hit Triantis and then Sanderson. On the replay, it was pretty clear that it was a Dion goal. Own goal, should I say. But 2-1. Then we start to bring on different players. Rusyn gets brought off, which was mind-boggling to me. I was absolutely baffled because he was having a fantastic performance. He was really getting in the faces. We brought him off, so then we had one striker comes off, then we bring Abdullah Bar on. So we've just gone 2-1 up, and then we're bringing our one striker off, and we're bringing Abdullah Bar on. But then eventually, we did see Mayenda. Mayenda come on, Al-Shish came on, and immediately, within a couple of minutes, Al-Shish gets himself on the score sheet. Mayenda looked fantastic, by the way. I think he looked really, really good. He was strong. Whenever he got the ball, he was very direct. He didn't give a shit. He wasn't, sometimes with Rusyn, although he was direct with the ball, sometimes when he has his back to goal, he just wants to shift it as soon as possible. He wants to take the responsibility off himself, which is what you get, I guess, with a little bit of inexperience. He just wants to give the easy pass quickly. Mayenda did not care. He would back into him, turn his man, drive at him, and he was doing it time and time again. For an 18-year-old, I think he's 18, he looked fantastic. He looked very, very strong. He actually had one effort where he took on his man, took on Dion Sanderson, and he's lashed it at goal, and it just batters Ruddy in the face and balloons out for a corner. But we did make it 3-1. I think it was Clark on the left-hand side, does really well, puts it across goal, and now Shees bundles it in this time to make it 3-1. And we do eventually see the game out. Birmingham did have a handful of opportunities. Like I said, I don't see how, I can't blame it entirely on Equa, but Equa, I think for him, and I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's a very classy player, a bit of a Rolls Royce at times, but something that Mowbray has said in the past, I remember he said it a while back, he did say that sometimes Equa, he needs a bit of a slap to wake up, because it'll take him about 20-30 minutes to grow into a game and realize, oh shit, and have that bit of urgency. He said words to those effect, and we all thought it was being a bit harsh and him digging him out a bit, but I can kind of see that in him now. There are so many times on the ball where he looks very blasé, and he's just no urgency whatsoever. You'd think he was playing in a friendly or a testimonial at times when, you've got players bursting, it seems like, making runs, and he's just so slow and he'll turn back. He's got 3 or 4 Birmingham players charging him down, no panic at all, looking around, ignoring the easy pass, trying to look around. But by the time he's actually fucking thought about what he's going to do, he's got the ball nicked off him. And it happened so many times. And then that's what was leading to Birmingham opportunities, when we should be comfortable. And usually Equa is comfortable in the middle. He was losing it time and time again. It was like 12 against 10 at times. He was that poor. But I'm sure it is just an off day and TM will have a word with him. But we did see it out 3-1. Fantastic victory. If we have a brief look at the league table now, because we know we really needed to get back to winning ways regardless. And I'm so happy for Sealt. I'm so happy for Triantis as well to come in such difficult circumstances. We've just come off that that draw last time out, and everyone was really downbeat. They were furious given the circumstances of that draw. And we were desperately in need of a win, and at a really packed out stadium like as well. To go out and get a win and get those lads a victory under the belt, and it'll be such a good experience for the pair of them anyway. And they weren't awful. At times, it's a partnership they haven't been together before, and because they've played less than 90 minutes, 80 minutes of football in total together combined. They're going to be a bit all over the place. You need to try and build a partnership when it comes to defence, and they didn't have that, but they grew into it, particularly in the second half, so you need to, hats off to him. But looking at the league table, I keep on saying I'm going to do that, then I don't. The league table, we are now back in the playoff places for the time being. Anyway, we're currently in 6th now with 26 points, but of course this is the early kick-off. And as I'm recording this, it's currently 2:45, so no other games have kicked off as of yet. But all we can do is keep winning games in front of us, and we go into the international break on a victory, which is absolutely class. But either way, there we go. Absolutely buzzing with that one. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that game, and hit that like button if you're buzzing. Get in, son. My ender ball starts now, by the way. He's my best mate. You heard it here first. My ender is my best mate. Take care. Stay jammy. See you in a bit.